Hey everybody, it's your old pal Mike. I hope you're happy, healthy, and safe. And friends, thank you for joining me. I'm so excited. I could not be more excited than I am. And do you know why? It's because I'm on island time, baby! That's right, I've had so many deadlines for the upcoming Guitar Live event that I will again leave links in the description for. But so many deadlines that I have been running myself into the ground trying to get things done. And yesterday marked the very last deadline that I have, which was interviewing Joe BONANZA at Nerdville. So that was pretty fun and exciting, and he was actually really cool. So believe it or not, Joe BONANZA, funny as hell, really nice. I mean, obviously a great player. But that was my last big deadline for this event, and as of yesterday, I have declared it Mike's Week of Fun, because after working so hard and running myself ragged to get these things done, I just need some fun in my life. I need to do some things that bring me joy. And one of those things is creating guitar tracks for my good friend Vanessa. She's the best guitar player I know. She goes by the stage name VAVÁ, and her music is incredible. And for some reason, she likes it when I make awful noises underneath what she does on the guitar. So I am prepping, recording, and making sounds, and decided to dig out my pedal board, which I really haven't used since February when I was on tour. And so I'm gonna pull it out, and we're gonna have some fun together. I'm gonna tell you about my pedals and why I chose them and why I love them and how I use them. And I'm going to demonstrate that through the HELIX. Now, one note is that I'm essentially using the HELIX as a glorified amp. Essentially a very expensive software-based amp. Another note about this is that this will not be a full-on pedal demo. I'm trying to replicate sounds I already have, so I may not show you the full range of what every pedal does, and that's okay. We will get there eventually, but it's just a fun one for me and for you. You're allowed to be here as well, and thank you for being here. So, without further ado, let's unveil the Board of Doom. You ready? Oh my God, I'm so excited. One note, got the cork sticker on here from my friend Brian at Deep Space 90s. Brian makes amazing Star Trek shit, and yeah, if you're looking for cool stickers, you definitely want to check Brian out. So here we go. Oh, look at that. Look at this board. Oh, I'm so happy to see it. This is my favorite thing in the world. Like, I just having all these sounds at the ready, and in this order. I really like the pedal order that I've come up with, and I couldn't be happier, really. Actually, let me do one thing real quick. Let's just get rid of that guy and replace it with something a lot less problematic. Now there's a statement for you. Friends, my pedal board is really the foundation of my tone. I know that, like, I have a lot of really great amps that I love, and I could probably do well with just using those, but there is nothing that excites me more than having so many colors on my palette, whether I am playing live or I'm in the studio. I think I've got a good sound here, and I really like my guitar tone, from the Jazzmaster into all these pedals and into an amp. I could not be happier with my noise floor, with my overall tone, and the range of sounds that I can get. Let me plug in, and we'll get started. Another thing I love about my board is that it is an extremely easy setup when I am on stage. It takes 2-3 minutes for me to plug everything in and get it working and ready to go. All I really have to do is wait for the rest of the band and my amp to warm up. Look at this! Look at this! Oh, I'm so excited! All right, so the board. After so many months of just not using it, it really brings back a lot of good memories, and I'm starting to recall some fun that I had with each pedal. So why don't we just go in signal chain order, and I'll tell you a little bit about each pedal and why I love it so much. Sound good? Oh, and before anybody starts commenting, where's your clean tone? Where's your clean tone? Here's my clean tone, you freaks. The pedal that is almost always first in whatever signal chain I am building is the inimitable, fantastic ZVex Fuzz Factory. There are pedals that maybe let me know that pedals could sound good back in, the 2000s when I was, basically an amp-only guy. But the Fuzz Factory is the first pedal that made me go, what the hell is that? It made me realize just how much you could do with a single pedal. I remember for years, I think I discovered them in 2006 or 2005, and for years I would visit the ZVex page and just watch every single of their demos. They were fantastic demos that showed off a number of sounds and a number of things you could do with them, but also fully unapologetic about the chaotic weirdness that lives within many of the pedals in their line. So ZVex is really the company that made me realize what pedals can do and how I could use them. So for that, I am forever grateful. And the Fuzz Factory is just one of many great effects in their lineup. The Octane 3, God, I still want one of those. I've got an Ooh-Wah 2 that I use to great effect, especially for like explosions of sound. That's a great pedal. The Fuzz Factory, however, is almost always first in my chain because it is notoriously sensitive to whatever comes before or after it. You can kind of mess it up if you put it after the wrong pedal, like say an extreme buffer of some sort. The pedal will respond to that. And so I always put it first because I just want its pure tone. And this, well, pure. Pure is a word that you can use for this, but this is what this crazy thing sounds like. And this is one of my favorite things about the Fuzz Factory is that it responds so well to volume knob settings. Like you can get these... You can get these weird little video game sound effects out of it if you're a... And aside from those weird sounds, I mean, it is just a fantastic fuzz pedal. It might even be the first fuzz pedal that I heard that was like, oh, fuzz is usable, something I can, make some noise with. And this is just with the bridge pickup, like with the neck pickup, it's... And so this is just one of a myriad of sounds that exists within the Fuzz Factory. You can get it to do so many other things. It self-oscillates beautifully. So if you have a Fuzz Factory, you absolutely should play around with it because there is so much that it does. Oh, it's fantastic. All the love in my heart for ZVex. The second pedal in my signal chain is another special one for me. It is the Keeley Compressor Plus, and what makes it special is that it's one of the few compressors that I have actually enjoyed using. And the reason for that is that I just don't want to hear compressors working. I want them to be very gently evening out my signal. But the minute I can feel them working, and it is a feel thing, I just get completely turned off. It sucks when I dig in and the pedal bumps me down. So the Keeley Compressor, to me, it sounds great. It feels great. It's been dependable. And so here's what my guitar sounds like uncompressed. But with the Compressor Plus on, so what is it actually doing? Well, it's bringing my volume up a little bit. Just a touch. And it's also increasing sustain, which, can be a problem with jazz masters. Kind of falls off. just a little more. It's not doing too much, and it's staying out of the way of my heavy-handed punk rock strumming. And another thing I love about it is that it plays really well with fuzzes and overdrive pedals. If I kick on an overdrive here, it's not really doing a whole lot. It's not killing the output or the vibe of my playing. I just can't use compressors that do that. And the Keeley, you can set it in such a way that it only does the minimal amount and it stays out of the way of what you're playing. It doesn't kick you down. Although I will note that I have it on the humbucker setting, and the reason I have it there is because the single coil setting, it sounds a little bit more invasive to what I'm doing tonally. So let me switch that on and we'll contrast and compare. I can feel that working and I don't like it at all. But if I kick it off, I feel like I'm not losing quite as much. So yeah, that's a thing for me. I just need a little bit. No big deal. Oh, and another fun fact about Keeley is that they're great people and they've been super supportive. And if you go to their website and you scroll down the artist page a little bit and you take a look and you go, oh, there's this person. Oh, there's this person. And who do you see? It's your old pal, Mike. Yeah, being a Keeley artist was kind of a big moment, and I still don't know why they included me, but they included me. That feels nice. Next up in the pedal order is another favorite of mine, and at this point I don't think I could actually live without, even if I tried. It is the Digitech Whammy V. It's my favorite current version of the Whammy. Obviously, we're all big fans of the original. I liked my Whammy 4, and it got super glitchy, but it also... I didn't like what it did to my sound when it was in the signal chain. However, the Whammy 5 totally fixed that and made the power requirements a lot easier to fill with the pedal board. So I think the Whammy 5 is a complete win in all situations. And there are a couple of great sounds that I love in this that you can see I've marked them quite clearly here with the holographic tape. I cut up a Flaming Lips sticker to do that. I'm sorry, Flaming Lips. But there are a number of sounds in the Whammy that I need that I can't quite get with other octave generators like the Micro POG. Although the Micro POG, the tracking on that thing is incredible, which is why I have it on my board. The Whammy is a fantastic piece of pedal hardware, and it enables me to, get some sounds that I need on the fly that I don't want to switch out for. Like, for instance, I've got a 12-string right here. It's a 66, and it's great. But, sometimes I don't want to bring so many guitars to the gig. So if I've got like a 12-string part that I need to hit, and some of you might say like, well, doesn't it bother you that it's glitchy? And no, if I want not glitchy, I'll use the Micro POG or I'll switch to my 12-string. But I like when it gets confused. That's just such a great sound to me. That's texture. It's just perfect for me. And you can use it for the Radiohead song, I also like to use the Whammy. The octave up is one of my favorite effects. I use it frequently with the rhythm circuit. And the Whammy is also a great way to add very ethereal flute-like elements to, if you're doing soundtrack work or you just want to dress up a song, it's all in the box. What's something I could play? Oh, I know what to play. Real ones will know that reference. So what else can you do with a whammy? Well, say that you are in a band and you've got a song that really needs a baritone. Well, you can get pretty close with the whammy, and it tracks well enough that in a full band context, you'd never know that what you're hearing is just a guitar down a fourth or a fifth. There was a song with Fellow Robot called Son of Fire that had sort of an outlaw country feel, and in the studio, I used this guitar and the whammy to play the baritone part. You can get away with it. It works fine. Another favorite sound of the whammy, and then we're going to move on. Another favorite sound is the fifth. I love the fifth and fourth settings. That is just so nice. Oh, I love this pedal so much. All right, moving on. Next in the pedal chain order is the Micro POG. This is one of the oldest effects that I've had, along with the Fuzz Factory. The Micro POG is a polyphonic octave generator. It's the little one. I never found a use for the big one that has all of the sounds in it. I would like to control inversions and thirds, fourths, fifths, all that stuff on my own. So I always go for the little guy. It's got a sound that the whammy doesn't have. The whammy octave down is nice, but it doesn't have the same weight or buoyancy that the POG does. Let me demonstrate. So if I want to do a nice big... For some reason, the whammy just doesn't feel the same. I don't know, there's a roundness to it that I just like a lot better. Now, the next pedal in my signal path is the Yellowcake Furry Burrito, and if you have not heard of this pedal, it is fantastic. It's one of my favorites, and what it is an overdrive running into a fuzz, and it might sound weird to have both of those things in the same pedal, but the overdrive keeps the fuzz a little tighter and gives it a little bit of a mid-range kick, while the fuzz is doing all the heavy lifting on the low end and really thickening everything. So I have such a long history with this pedal. And if you've been around long enough, you may recognize this pedal from the Silent Night video, the Christmas cover that I pump up every holiday season. The Furry Burrito is really why I did that video. I remember the first time I plugged into it and I heard the sound that it made, and I think absent-mindedly I just kind of stumbled onto Silent Night, and it just made the thing for me. It really is such a fantastic pedal. And it's wonderful when a pedal can dictate a sound to you and inspire you to do something that you otherwise never would have done. I probably never would have done a Christmas cover if it hadn't been for this pedal. So here's what it sounds like. Just like going home again. Oh, it's so cool when a piece of gear influences you that heavily and gives you an idea that you never would have followed through on in the first place. So Ryan, I am so grateful that I get to use your gear. The next pedal in my signal chain is one that I have just gotten recently, and it's replacing another pedal as it did earlier, and that is the Big Ear Woodcutter. It's one of the best rats I've ever played in my life. And Grant and Karen are lovely friends who have always been so kind to me. And I just love supporting people that are lovely human beings. So yeah, the Woodcutter is a fantastic pedal, and this is what it sounds like. Oh, it's real good. Moving on. This pedal is one of my favorite pedals that I have ever owned. It is the Smallsound Bigsound, and it is a fantastic overdrive pedal. The fuck is sort of like my basic overdrive tone. It's what I use when I'm in a song and I need to like lay back, or it's a verse, or, you know, it's kind of an alt country thing. It's a great pedal for those kinds of sounds. It also has a great lead tone, as evidenced by the solo that I did for Fellow Robots' I'm With You. It's one of the best solos I've ever come up with, and it was this pedal with just a little bit of delay. Like, it sounds great on its own. The Fuck also has a wonderful feature, which is a blown tube emulator. And you hear the more you lay back, the less it activates, like it's... all of that in a small package. I love this pedal, and this will never leave my board. Like, this pedal is a mainstay, not just for the fact that it sounds great, but also because it's got maybe my favorite custom order box artwork that I've ever had. A lot of people think this is me, but it's not. It's Ralphie from A Christmas Story after saying the F word, which is also why the pedal is called the F dash dash dash, the dreaded F dash 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 word. And so I was able to get Ralphie with the Lifebuoy soap in his mouth, and it makes me happy every single time I step on it. So thank you.